Hey guys, I'm Ryan Wright.
And I'm Brandi Price.
So we're gonna watch the international trailer for Terminator Genisys. The domestic trailer got released. I saw it already. Brandi found out on the way over here is actually a Terminator fan. That's cool. I don't meet too many girls that are actually into Terminator. She hasn't seen the domestic trailer yet. I thought, what better time to show someone an international trailer than now? So Brandi,
Yes.
happens to know a little bit of information about this. Let's see if it meets your expectations.
I look at each of you, and I see the marks of this long and terrible war. If we die tonight, mankind dies with us. The machines sent a Terminator back to the time before the war to kill my mother, Sarah Connor. Let me sit. Time you're going back to, she was scared and weak. Take care of her for me, Kyle.
Come with me if you want to live.
It's all wrong. John sent me here to save you.
From the Terminator that was sent back to kill me, but we already took care of him.
We have been waiting for you.
Everything's changed.
Oh wow.
You can stop Judgment Day from happening. Where is he?
I'll be back.
I love that music. I love that Terminator music.
Yes. That's so awesome.
I already saw the domestic trailer, but watching this one, it gets me thinking about even more things. I mean, it really is bringing it back to the Terminator world. Something that like part 3 kind of was starting to lose, and then part 4 was like, let's ignore part 4 for a second.
Yeah, we could just.
We could forget about that. I think Jason Clarke is gonna be a better John Connor than Christian Bale. Talking like Batman the whole time.
I'd forgotten that Daenerys. What's her real name? From Game of Thrones, Dany Targaryen is in this. Yeah, so
Yeah, that's
it
Sarah
is.
Connor.
It is Sarah Connor. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I guess that would make sense that she.
Yeah.
would. I don't remember the guy's name that was the original Silver.
T-1000?
T-1000.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What's cool about this movie to me is it is doing sort of that Star Trek thing about it, because it's still in the timeline order of Terminator 1 and 2, but then they time travel back to part 1. It looks like you're just watching the play of events that took
Yeah.
place in part 1. Because I remember in part 1, Sarah Connor was like a total like weak kind of character who grows into a strong.
Yeah, in part
she
1.
grows into someone
Yeah.
by the end. But,
And then she gets all badass and she's doing like all
yeah,
those
then in part
pull-ups.
2 she's like doing pull-ups and shit. Yeah. But then in this movie, it's like starts off with Sarah Connor. First thing you see of her is like, oh, she's already a badass. What the hell's happened?
It's the same characters, and there are some of the same storylines and whatnot. Obviously, because they're bringing back Arnold for it, but the storyline is completely different.
It's different because it's like what Star Trek did. They're reinventing it from the original story. It obviously takes place after the events of the first ones, but then they're rebooting it in a smart way where
Right.
you can't, because I like the idea of putting this world together where you do got these Terminators and you got the T-1000 back, and you can introduce new machines in modern day again, or 1984 or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, forgot.
Yeah, I think it was like.
Was it 84?
I think so. That sounds right.
Yeah.
Well, you'll tell if it isn't right.
I mean, it looks great. Like I love Jason Clarke. I think he's a fantastic actor. Jai Courtney, he looks like he'll be a fine Kyle Reese. Like everyone looks like they're doing a good job.
He looks so much like the original T-1000.
Oh, the guy who's playing the T-1000?
Yes, I think. Well, like an
I think
Asian.
you're getting confused.
No,
The
no,
Asian
like
version?
he's like the Asian version of him, because I don't know, like he just, to me, he just looks so much like him. He was a prototype.
Yeah.
And they all just kind of look the same.
It's cool to bring back the T-1000.
Uh-huh.
If that is the exact same character.
I
We're
don't-
saying up front, we don't know.
Yeah, well,
They're bringing back a similar character regardless.
Yes.
You know, he's in the cop outfit, so it's safe to assume that he is
He's
an
a-
Asian version of the T-1000.
but he looks the same though.
Kind of. I'm very familiar with Robert Patrick's face, so that's why it's hard for me to discern.
I mean, as an older, like the older version of him, like currently, or
Oh,
back
just
then?
throughout all the years, I've really
Yeah.
followed this guy's work.
Well.
Because I am intellectual. I am very curious to see who Arnold is exactly playing. I'm sure some of you guys fucking know, but is he just playing the Terminator again, or is
I don't know.
he looks like he's just a normal dude when he first shows up. He's got like a hoodie on and stuff.
Like, yeah, he does have a hoodie on, but when he takes his, when it shows that shirtless portion of him, he kind of looks plastic.
Oh no, there was two Arnolds. There was the real Arnold, and they have the CGI Arnold. Kind of like what they did with Salvation, but it looks better in this one. Still looks like it's still
Salvation.
Oh, you didn't see part 4?
Mm-mm. No, I'm just joking.
I was like, you just lied about a bunch of stuff earlier. I can't use any of that footage now.
Like, wait, what just happened?
Because there was one moment where it's Arnold, modern day Arnold, but you see the Terminator hand. So I don't know if that was like, maybe it's just his hand and he's
injured.
a human.
He might be injured.
Yeah, he might be an injured human. That's what I mean. The trailer does get you thinking, like, what are they doing with the Terminator world? You know, as opposed to, like, let's put it like this. Part 2 was supposed to be the ending to the Terminator story.
Right,
then they did part 3. Yeah, it was.
It was.
Then they did part 3, and they were like, we're gonna change it now so we can keep the war going.
And then they took it too far with the war.
Yeah, and then it was just like there was nothing new to offer in the fourth one. And this one, I feel like they have something new to offer us.
I don't even think it's something new to offer. It's just something completely different.
Yeah.
They've reinvented the whole thing.
Yeah.
With the same characters. In other words, it's kind of genius marketing because not only do you get the new generation of people watching it, but you also get the people that are nostalgic.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know?
And
so their age range.
Yeah.
It's from like 14 to 40.
Probably even more.
50?
I'd say so. Yeah.
I guess, yeah, because in the 80s you have to be... Yeah.
I mean, James Cameron's like 98 years old himself, so, you know, who knows?
James Cameron is brilliant.
He is so smart and intellectual.
But yes.
Terminator 2 was the first movie to use that kind of CGI. And it was when Steven Spielberg actually came across the footage of Terminator 2. And that's when he got the idea to use CGI for Jurassic Park.
What?
Yeah, I remember I remember Steven Spielberg talking about that in an interview.
In Jurassic Park, they did a lot of practical stuff too.
They did, but to make for certain shots, they had to do CGI, and that's where he discovered it was seeing Terminator 2.
Jurassic Park was so awesome.
We should stop talking about Terminator and just talk about Jurassic Park for the next few
No,
minutes.
no, no. Terminator is equally... Well, actually, it's just completely different.
I usually compare Terminator and Jurassic Park.
Like giant dinosaurs and...
Machines taking over the world. The same thing.
Regenerative, like, robots.
It's clear that you don't need to see the other Terminators to follow this. But if you still want, like, extra backstory...
But will the backstory be the same?
Well, yeah. I mean, what's happening is they go through the war, and then Jason Clarke, as John Connor says, they sent back a Terminator, so he's establishing the plot of part 1.
Right.
So then Kyle Reese is like, I'll go back. And so it is still following along the lines. It seems like things happened, and then now they're going back in time to change things. Yeah. Kind of like what X-Men Days of... Well, I don't want to ruin it. But kind of like what some movies do. If you haven't seen X-Men Days of Future Past, sorry if I sort of spoiled it for you. Anyway, guys, thanks for checking out this video, and thanks for telling me the international trailer was out. If you're new to the channel, you can welcome yourself to NPR. If you're new to the channel, you can subscribe to The Real Rejects. And Brandi, on her channel, she's going to start up doing movie reviews, Netflix reviews.
Yeah, Netflix reviews. Boom, boom, boom.
So check that out. I want to give some shout-outs here, but I'm caught up on shout-outs. Let's go to facebook.com/TheReelRejects shout-outs. Earn yourself a shout out by saying something interesting. That simple to get a shout out.
Like armadillos can hold their breath underwater for 6 minutes.
Is that true?
It is true.
You're lying?
No.
I wish I was an armadillo.
Yeah. He'd have thick skin.
Yeah, I'd move fast too in my shell.
I feel like they waddle.
The closest thing I know to an armadillo is the Mega Man X character.
The what?
The villain in Mega Man X. I don't know what an actual armadillo looks like.
You don't?
No, but I assume all their movements come from what's in Mega Man X.
I think we should look it up so you can see an actual armadillo.
I kind of like the fact that I haven't seen an actual armadillo. Kind of like how I haven't seen Forrest Gump. It's my thing, you know?
Why?
Yeah. I'm sure I lost a lot of respect from you guys just now.
I think so.
What's up with all the family violence in my home today?
I don't know.
All these neighbors just need to get their families in order.